to me, when I was like, oh my God, this is jujitsu, where she's like, if you go to his rallies, his crowds are boring, they're tired, they all leave her. My crowds are the best crowds. I have the #1 crowd. He couldn't help himself.
What's going on, you guys? Today we have Kyle Kulinski shredding Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan is out here groveling to MAGA some more. Kyle Kulinski is exposing him. I'm giving some of my commentary. Let's watch.
They were talking about politics, and Joe hit us with an interesting take out of left field here. This is his reaction to the Trump-Kamala debate. Before
I say anything, I just want to say, whoever's helping her, whoever's coaching her, whoever's the puppet master running the strings, you did a fucking amazing job.
She did a great job.
They did an amazing job from the moment Biden drops out, forcing Biden to drop out. Right, whatever they're doing, whoever's writing those speeches, getting her to deliver them, coaching her, she's nailing it. She nailed that one speech. She's like, say it to my face.
Oh, yeah,
everybody's cheering.
Yeah, she nailed it, dude.
And then last night, to me, when I was like, oh my God, this is jujitsu, where she's like, if you go to his rallies, his crowds are boring, they're tired, they all leave her. My crowds are the best crowds. I have the #1 crowd. He couldn't help himself.
And she got him. She baited him on that. She walked him right into it.
100%. 100%. See, the difference in that debate was not a difference in like who's going to have better policies, who's going to be better for the country. The difference in the debate, in my opinion, was who was better prepared. She was way better prepared. And even when it came to answering tough questions, instead of answering, she would just say things that she believes.
Yes, sure.
And they sounded real good.
Yeah,
and that's a soundbite.
That's called being a savvy politician.
It's also called being someone who's working with a team versus someone who's like, they said Trump, that deal was the best deal. They've never seen a deal like this before. They said, how did you put that deal together?
People thought that was just brilliant. Yeah, I know. It's like
he's not working with a team that's like, I mean, I know he's doing like mock debates. I know he did one with, I think he did one with Tulsi Gabbard, but someone needs to like tell him, like, you've got these tiny little windows and you should have all the words ready for those windows.
He started
there should be no repeating things.
Wow. Okay. So there's a lot of stuff to say about this. Let's start with that last claim first. He says, hey man, Trump is not working with a team. Someone needs to tell him basically that he has to be more soundbitey. You got to have all the words ready. You got to be able to get in and get out and have those memorable moments. Look, here's the thing, Joe. He actually is working with a team, and his team did give him good advice. And the problem is his Trumpiness overrode all of the training. You saw this in multiple instances, like, for example, when he was baited.
At the end of the day, Trump is going to show his blind spots. Trump has never been discriminated against. Trump has never not had enough money to feed himself or his family. He's never faced, more importantly, the injustices of this system. He's always been on the winning side, been on the receiving side of the system. For what does he have to critique? He has nothing to actually say bad about this system. He wants to preserve it more than ever. He sees that this is the perfect thing, that it can continue to help people just like him, and he really doesn't care about anyone else who is getting the freaking shaft of it.
To talk about the race thing, he was trying to say, no, I mean, she could be whatever she wants to be. I don't have anything to say. She could be anything she wants to be. But I read that she wasn't black, and that, but it's Indian. It's up to her. It's totally up to her. You could tell that Chris LaCivita and whoever else was involved in the debate prep said, do not take the bait on the race thing. Don't bring up race. It was a big loser for you. You dropped in the polls when you said it. Everybody looks at you like you're weird because that's a weird thing to say. It's like, bringing up birtherism vis-a-vis Obama. That is not a winning issue for him. And that only is red meat to the base, and he needs more than the base now. He needs independents and moderates and swing voters, etc. And so he was coached. His debate prep team did their job, but he could not help himself. So here's the thing that a lot of Trump people need to understand. The problem is him. The problem is him. He's been given good advice time and time again. But if he doesn't take it and his worst aspects come out, the worst parts of him come out, you know what happens after that? He will point the finger at his debate prep team and make a fall guy and then get even closer to the people giving him the worst advice, the people who are willing to feed his ego and tell him, sir, you're right about everything and you really showed Kamala and that debate really was 3-on-1 and you really won anyway and you're doing great. And that's how you get to a point, guys, where Laura Loomer is next to him all the fucking time. And now he's out there repeating a lie from a Nazi group called Blood Tribe about Haitian immigrants eating cats. It's not remotely true. First of all, they're legal immigrants, not illegal immigrants, and they're not eating cats. It was total fake news, debunked 17 ways to Sunday. But he's out there repeating it and spreading cat memes because now he shut out the intelligent people and he brought closer to him the more crazy people to feed his worst impulses. right? This is also what happened with like January 6th and Stop the Steal. He desperately tries to shut out the people who are giving him sound advice because he doesn't like what he's hearing, and he brings the psychos closer to him. This is the problem. The problem is Trump. The problem is Trump. Okay, so let's go through it some more. Look, even when complimenting how Kamala did it, he can't help but sort of take away credit. He says whoever is helping her or coaching her or pulling the puppet strings.
We can see it. That's sort of the MO of all these guys. We have Trump surrounding himself with yes men. We have Elon surrounding himself with yes men. We have Joe Rogan surrounding himself with yes men. And it's people that can obviously see that they aren't doing the right thing, that sometimes they may be, letting their ego get the best of them, or they may be a little bit off their rocker. But, it's at the point to where they're going to continue to go down this road until it's too late, until they're forced by reality to see that they may have went down the wrong path.
I love how it was either Tom or Joe said, oh, she baited him. The reason I love that is because Matt Taibbi had an idiotic theory that there's like this massive conspiracy. There's collusion between mainstream media listening to a DNC talking point and regurgitating it. And that conspiracy is everybody said that she baited him. So obviously this is planned out and people are in on it. And they came up with this line and they're all running with it in this nefarious, smoke-filled backroom way in a conspiracy against Trump. And what's the reality? Of course there's no fucking conspiracy. People are saying that she baited Trump because she baited Trump. And it was the most obvious thing in the world to see. And so now you have people like Tom Segura and Joe Rogan, who are nobody's liberals, nobody's lefties, nobody's Democrats at this point. And they're like, yeah, she baited him. Maybe because Occam's razor is she fucking baited him and everybody could see that. It's one of the most obvious things. So that just blows up Taibbi's goofball theory. But guys, I guarantee you, if it didn't already happen, it's going to happen. I'm sure it is already happening. I'm sure the Trump people are furious with Rogan. I'm sure they are furious with Rogan. Because remember, somebody did a poll on his audience, the ideological makeup of his audience. And it was, and this is going back like probably 2 or 3 years ago. And even then, it was majority conservative, right? And I think it's probably only gotten more conservative since then. When you look at the topics that he's obsessed with and he talks about all the time, it is a lot of Democrat bashing. It's a lot of wokeness bashing. And you attract a certain kind of audience when that's what, a lot of your content is about. It's about, oh, they're trying to stifle free speech and comedy, and that's unfair, and it's the problem of the ultra-woke progressive left, et cetera. Having people on like Jordan Peterson all the time, having Ben Shapiro. I think it's very rare that you get somebody like me who's on there these days who's just an outright lefty, willing to make lefty arguments. And so it's sort of the water he swims in now. He attracted a particular kind of audience, and that kind of audience is not going to take kindly to comments like this. They're just not going to like it. They're just going to explode on him. And so I'm sure he's...
So there we have it, you guys. We have Kyle Kulinski really breaking down the character defects of Joe Rogan, of Donald Trump. I believe that there's hope, given that, the truth always does prevail. For now, I think it's best to be patient and to plan ahead for the future and to enjoy the little bit of freedom that we do have as people. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments. It's another day in the progressive way.